Hello, all. Today's lesson is going to cover tape measures as well as levels. Now that you have a basic understanding of how a house goes together, you've looked at the blueprints, you know, some of the materials, and a little bit about the structure of a house, we need to start understanding what kind of tools we're going to be using to be sure we can build this house properly. So you are going to find you're going to rely heavily on tape measures and levels. So let's start looking at them. Tape measures, variety of sizes, okay? This is really important to understand. Not one size fits all. What I have over here is just some pictures of variety of tape measures, a couple different manufacturers. But here you have a 100-foot tape measure, very large tape, all the way down to a keychain 6-foot tape measure. You want to select the appropriate tape measure for your job. Typically, the tape you guys are going to be utilizing is going to be probably a 25 or 30-foot tape measure. They're accurate and they also lend themselves well to typical residential construction, especially the size jobs that we're going to be doing. But I do need you to be aware, we will utilize a 100-foot tape when we get to our house to make sure everything is properly laid out. So let's take a look and see exactly what this is going to look like when we get the tape out and start looking at the blades. Fractions, feet, fractions, and inches. So tapes, it depends on the manufacturer, are going to look a lot different. I just happen to have the same manufacturer here, but even they look a little bit different than the other ones. So first off, let's take a look up top. If you notice, this tape is broken down into, and they're showing 1/8 inch increments, but it's actually broken down into 16ths. The first hash mark is a 16th. Second hash mark, the larger hash mark, is going to be an eighth. Then we go to 3/16 and a quarter. Now, when we talk about precision, which is coming up in the next slide, it's very rare that you're going to cut something down to a 32nd of an inch. A 16th is typically going to be where we're going to keep our tolerance. And we find out the tape measures are also broken down into feet and inches. So if we look at this blade here, what we see is our 1 foot mark. If you stay up on the top reading, you're going to see 1 foot, 1 inch, 1 foot, 2 inch, 1 foot, 3. If you stay on the bottom reading, you're going to get inches, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So obviously 1 foot, 4 inches is the equivalent of 16 inches. One of the reasons, and there's many reasons for that, as you start looking at your architectural drawings that are in the room, drafting is always going to put your dimensions, your sizes of your building in feet and inches. Typically, when you're on a site cutting material and communicating on site, you're going to call it out in inches. You're going to say, I need a board 15 inches, not I need a board 1 foot 3 inches. So you have the ability to read both on these blades, and that's a really nice piece about the tape measure. Now, precision, I talked to you that just quickly. How precise are we going to get with building our house? That's the $1,000,000 question. I can't tell you exactly. What I can tell you is down here, this gap is too large. This is going to be a 1/4 inch gap. We cannot get that precise. We're not a Swiss watchmaker. Okay. Obviously, we don't have the precision that we can work within in manufacturing when we have specific items that are really defined. Here, we're dealing with natural products that actually move. So again, this is something that you're going to have to deal with your instructor on in terms of where you want to be as far as precision. Typically, if we're within an 1/8 of an inch to a 16th, we're really good in terms of precision of framing. And again, the different size scale, the bigger the house, the different lumber, that is all going to be something that's going to be left up to the individual instructor as well as the project you're working on. So precision definitely can vary, especially depending on the materials. Now, as we continue to look at our tapes and start figuring out all the markings on them, what they have is called layout marked on them. Layout is basically the distance that you space your studs. The layout is going to also be the distance you space your doors and windows. So once again, building on a previous lesson, we know that our layout is going to be found on our blueprints, our plans. So if a window is going to be set 2 feet 3 inches in, well, we're going to come on in and we are going to use our tape measure to lay that window out. You're also going to find that we have to put studs in. And we're going to get to stud layout a little bit further on in this course, but I just want to get you familiar with what it looks like on your tape measure. This is a picture of a stud, 2x4 on layout. Now, we are going to go with 16-inch layout. That's a really common layout. That means every stud is going to be 16 inches on center. So at 16 inches, you would have a stud in the center. At 32 inches, you would have a stud in the center. And you can see on these tape measures, these markings right here indicate layout. 48 is going to be a really big one because you're going to find out your stud needs to be centered also at 48 to capture all the other components that are going to the house. But again, I'm just introducing you to that piece right now. We're going to go into that in greater depth in terms of what layout looks like. But these are the markings on your tape measure. That's the critical piece for you to understand right now. They can be 12 inches, they can be 16 inches, they can be 2 feet, or they can be 4 feet. And these markings will carry out throughout your entire tape measure. Excellent. Let's move on to levels. Now, levels, what do they look like? What are they good for? A whole lot of stuff here. We have a wide variety of levels, just like tape measures. So select the appropriate level for the job. If you have a very large wall, let's say a 6-foot wall, you're going to use probably a 6-foot level to make sure it is plumb and level. If you have a very small window that you want to get level, you're going to use maybe a torpedo level or an 18 or 24-inch level. So depending on the type job that you have, you're going to select the appropriate level. Now, level has kind of two goofy terms here. We got plumb and level. Now, plumb refers to the vertical and level refers to the horizontal. What I'm talking about here is if you have a wall, you want to make sure it is plumb. Okay? If you have a floor you're walking on, you want to make sure it's a level. So these are the two different terms that you're going to become familiar with. Now let's just take a look and see what these look like in a picture. So we have Meg here demonstrating what plumb looks like on a wall. She's holding a 6-foot level up to a 2x4 stud to make sure it is vertical. She looks at the bubble right here, the top bubble. She looks at the top bubble, make sure the bubble's between the lines. When it's between the lines, that means it's perfectly vertical. Now, let's say Meg has to check something for level, a floor, or she wants to draw a line on that wall that's perfectly level because we're going to put cabinets on it. What she's going to do is now hold the level straight across, horizontal, read the bubble, the middle bubble now, and it's going to line up between the lines. So Meg has now just gone through, she's demonstrated plumb, which is going to be vertical, and she's demonstrated level, which is going to be horizontal. These are the main components you are going to be using your level for. There's many other uses for level, a whole lot of other areas that you're going to utilize your level, but these are the basic terms and areas you're going to be using. So take a look at it, make sure you understand how a level is going to be used. Now, this concludes our lesson on measuring and levels, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.